What's up, everyone? If you were to ask most Christians, most churchgoers, is there an Antichrist in the book of Revelation, they would all say, well, of course, and the Antichrist is going to run some one world government, and he's going to do this, and he's going to do that. Well, it might surprise you to know that the word Antichrist does not show up in the book of Revelation. There is a beast, there's a dragon, there's lots of bad folks, there's a false prophet, but the word Antichrist does not occur. Now, this is interesting because the word Antichrist does appear in the first letter of John and the second letter of John. And if you're a conservative Bible scholar, you would say that the same author wrote the book of Revelation. Now, if the same author wrote the book of Revelation, people tend to use the same term for the same thing, and he didn't use the word Antichrist. And here, there's something really interesting, and that's that in 1st and 2nd John, Antichrist is mentioned 5 times, and once it's in plural. Now, if you're an author, and if you mention the word Antichrist in plural, in other words, Antichrists, it means you don't believe there's just one. There's lots of them. Anybody who puts himself or herself in the place of Christ and makes claims of messianic whatever, or works against the cause of Christ, that person is, by definition, an antichrist, somebody who is working against the cause of Christ. And there have been many of them in history, including you-know-who, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler said that he was going to reign for 1,000 years. Sounds like the millennial reign of Christ in the book of Revelation. He's taking the place of Christ on that one. And you may not know that Heil Hitler, the phrase, the Hitler greeting, Heil in German doesn't mean hail or hello. Heil in German means salvation and healing. Salvation and healing through Hitler. Well, that's kind of, if that's not an antichrist, I don't know what is. There have been lots of antichrists. There will continue to be antichrists. The Bible also warns against pseudo-Christoi in Greek, false Christs, false messiahs, people who claim to be Christ, and once again, this is in the plural. A lot of people think that the little horn in the book of Daniel is somehow to be equated with the Antichrist. Well, maybe, maybe not. And a lot of people connect the beast in the book of Revelation with the Antichrist, or the dragon, or the false prophet. Maybe, maybe not. But when we start connecting things in the Bible that the Bible itself does not connect, we run the risk of what's called eisegesis, which is reading into the text things that aren't there. I think it's healthier just to start with what the Bible actually explicitly says, and to connect the things that the Bible connects, and not to connect those things that the Bible doesn't connect. Otherwise, we can very easily build a skyscraper on sand, and especially if our end times view is extremely complex, like dispensationalism. If you have a very complex worldview of the end times, then you need to be especially rigorous in making sure that you don't make any leaps. Otherwise, you're building a huge skyscraper on sand. I do believe that we will see antichrists over and over. And I would define them, as some others have defined them, as a demonic concentration of power. Whenever power gets concentrated in one place, as Lord Acton said, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We need to continue to be on the watch for that in ourselves and in others, and to put no one in the place of Jesus Christ. That's the good news for today. Let's teach what the Bible teaches, and if we want to make a case for a certain kind of theology or a certain kind of end times, let's make sure that we minimize connecting the dots, because there is no Antichrist in the book of Revelation. You can look and look and look, and you'll never find the word. I hope that you will subscribe to this channel. We're going through a short series on things you thought were in the Bible but aren't. Hashtag not in the Bible. And we're going to be looking at as many as we can find. So put some in the comments if we haven't thought of them already. And I'd like to just sort of clear out the things that we think are in the Bible that are not, so we can work with what the Bible explicitly says. I think that's enough for us to handle for a lifetime. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. Continue to stay in the Word.